Hi everyone, my name is Gellis, and of course, this is Infinite Modesty Design. I want to thank everyone for joining me, for those who joining me live and for those who joined the replay. Thank you very much. So, who I am, who is Gellis? So, hello for those who are joining me on any of my social media page. So, first, I just want to say three things very clear. Of course, I teach you how to sew, and we are going to be sewing on this page, of course, today. Now, also, I want to also give an encouragement to anyone who is watching me itself that I love to teach sewing. But most importantly, I like to let you know that Jesus Christ is real. He's a real God. He's really out there. And I like to encourage my followers or whoever is watching me that Jesus Christ is real. If you don't know, you don't even believe that he's real, or there's so many different gods you have for other religion, you have the power to ask. And I always say, just ask God if you are real, or if you are real, just reveal yourself to me. And I guarantee you, this God, once you are sincere, he will reveal himself to you. That's how I get to know that Jesus Christ is real. All right. So also now I want to also make an announcement. So depends on where you're watching me, you'll see the sewing nurse. So I am also a foot care specialist. So what is a foot care specialist, you might say? I'm going to show you a foot here. So it's a skeleton foot. It's not Halloween or anything. I'm not even into that. It's we take care of your loved one feet. So we take care if you have a parent, whatever it is, they cannot reach their toes. There's corns, there's calluses. They may have different diseases, and you need someone specially to take care of the feet of your loved one. We do that, of course, as well. So we do have the service. It's called Foot Care Nursing with Gellis. If you look on Google, and I'll be talking more about that in my life as I go along. All right. Also, today we are going to be making a very easy skirt, very basic skirt. So a skirt that you could make personally on your own. I like to make it from scratch. So that's what we're going to be doing on this live today. We do teach sewing classes in Brampton on Mondays. So Mondays we teach sewing classes on Brampton. We do have a 5-month course right now where we are teaching you from basic beginner to advanced sewing dresses. That's what I'm having, what I have today, of course. If you can't see my whole dress, that's okay. But the goal is that you will be making dresses from zero to hero, I like to say. If you have a desire to learn to sew, measuring your daughter, measuring yourself, or measuring a client itself, we do have that offer in person in Brampton. So it's 84 Charlotte Boulevard. We are in Brampton every Monday. We teach you how to sew. So our goal, we are trying our best to come on live every Friday. I don't have a standard time as yet. We are planning to come every Friday, which today is Friday by the grace of God, to teach you how to make something very simple, very basic. Even if you have needle and thread, it shouldn't be an issue for you to learn to sew. All right, so what are we doing here today? That's the excitement. All right, so for those who are in and around the area and you want to contact us, you could definitely check out our YouTube channel. It's sewing, I believe it's Sewing with Gellis at Infinite Modesty Design. Yes, that's my YouTube channel. Or you could contact me on any social media handle. So now we're going to be making a very basic skirt, guys. Very basic, needle and thread. You could do it. That's what we're doing today. So what I like to do here, I want to make sure that I show you how basic it is. So we even have the fabric at hand. Sometimes I might have different color fabric, but we have the fabric at hand. So what I have here, I have my fabric. I have my sewing machine. I have of course, my sewing machine is already shredded because I want to make this, I don't want the live to be too long. I want to be very basic for you. Then I have some elastic. So I have some big elastic here. I wish I had smaller elastic. I can't find them right. My eyes cannot catch my small elastic. So we are going to be using the very big elastic. And I have my my scissors, and of course my tape measurement. Okay, so let's get started. Also, if you have a sewing machine and you want to share in the comments what sewing machine you use, that would be great as well. So we have our fabric here, all right? And you first have to measure your waist. So if you have again, you can make that with needle and thread. Like I said, I'll continue saying that. I like to repeat myself for some reason. You could take your tape measurement, all right? And start from the very basic, okay, from one. Put it around you. So this is one, put it around you. And just measure your waist, okay? You can measure it nice and firm, right? Nice and firm. You could have one finger in, or you don't probably, actually in this case, you just measure it really nice and firm. So whatever measurement you get, you pull it, and then we're gonna use that measurement, okay? So I'm making this skirt for a waist 37, okay? And then I'm gonna make the waist 37. However, it's a gather skirt. I'm gonna put an elastic there. So I'm gonna double it. Hopefully I have enough to double it itself here. I don't know if I might have enough. So we'll see how it go. The length of the skirt, I'll make it at least 40. I'm a very modest person, so I like long skirt, although I'm not making the skirt for myself per se, but I'm gonna be making 40. So let's see how much we have here. So I don't think I have 37, of course. I doubt I have double. If you could double it, great. If you cannot double it, then we're just gonna use what we have. So let me see which is the longer side. So I am gonna measure here. Let's see here. Okay, so I get 37. I'm gonna see how much we get. Again. So if you have fabric, you can make it 37 by 37. You go double it itself for 2. So I have 37. And 10 make 47. And 10 make 57. 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63. So basically, I didn't have the double for 37 to 37. So whatever you have itself, basically, we could be making it around. And we want a lot of space. So that's why I'm saying, if you can make it double, that's fine. If you just want to make it 37 and you put another quarter from the 37, that's fine. So the thing is, we're going to be putting an elastic anyway, so you're going to be just fine. So the length itself, I have, if you could make it 30, so whatever your waist is, you double it. That's what I'm trying to say. So if your waist is 20, you're going to double it to 40. Or if you don't want 40, you can make your waist is 20, you could just put 10, make it 30 for the full width itself. Okay. All right. So the length, I'm going to make it 40. So I'm going to measure the length here from the waist down. Okay. So I'm going to put my fabric down here. I think everyone is seeing me. So down here, I'm going to put my fabric. And then now I'm going to measure from the top, right? So from the very top here, the very basic top here. So I'm going to just move my thing here so you can see what I'm doing. I have multiple camera here. So from the waist, well, let me just do it like that here. So I'm measuring from the waist down to 40 because the reason is the length I wanted is 37, but you have to put extra for seam allowance, for elastic allowance, for hem allowance, right? So I'm going to measure it right down to 40. So I'm going to cut it down here. Okay, so I'm going to put on the table and I'm going to cut it down to 40, the length. So the width now is your waist. So if your waist is 20, you're going to double it to 40 for the full width. And then the length is whatever desired length itself. So again, I am all about modesty. So I like long garments. So that's what it is here. So now I'm going to come. So this is 36. I'm going to push this up more. And I'm going to make it 40. So let me get my thing here. I'm just going to put a ruler here. And we're going to just connect. All right. So from that connection. So guys, this is one of the easiest skirts. You're going to make it with only needle and thread. You don't have to stress yourself. You want to make something. You just have needle and thread, you could just follow along and make this. So I'm just going to cut it down to 40 here. And that 40 is included in my hem allowance, it's included in my seam allowance, okay? All right, so who we are Infinite Modesty Design. We also Gellis the Food Care Nurse. All right, so I'm not doing any nursing here today, but because you see nurse in the title, for those who are watching me, depends on where you're watching me on, we do offer food care nursing service, and we come and take care of your loved ones' feet. There you go. All right. Okay. So in this case, so no, we're not manicure or pedicure, nothing like that. Nothing like that. It's all about the healthiness of your loved one's feet. All right. So now we have this. So what I have now. So the length. Remember I said the length is your waist time 2. So hello to everyone who's joining me on Instagram. I'm so very grateful that you joined me. All right. So see the length here. So the length again, sorry, not the length, the width. The width itself for the waist part is your waist times 2, okay? So your waist times 2. So if your waist is 20, you double it to 40, or if you don't want it that much, you can go 20 and put 10, so you can make be 30 itself, okay? So I hope I'm making sense here. I had 37 for the waist. I didn't get it double. I don't have enough fabric, so I'm just using what I have for the live itself. Okay, makes sense. And then the length, of course, is 30. Sorry, it's 30. It's 37, but then I make it to add more, so it's 40 in total. Hoping that makes sense. All right, so what we're gonna be doing right now, you also want needle and thread. So today we're gonna make a very easy skirt. Let's say you don't have a lot of time and you like this fabric and you just want to make something, and you have sewing machine or maybe even needle and thread you have, that's fine. We're gonna make it so easy today that you could actually try it out. Okay, so we have our safety pin. So I have 2 pins here. I have the small one, and of course I have the big ones here. All right, so we'll be using our safety pin. So I'm gonna put it back in here so I don't lose it. And then for your elastic, this is what you're gonna do, guys. Take the elastic, put it around your waist like this. Make it nice and firm, right? Not tight, firm. Because remember, you had to put elastic through, you had to put fabric through it. Nice and firm, and then you're gonna cut. Okay, so if you want, you could just actually make it, if your waist is 20, just cut the elastic at 20, that's fine. Because remember, you let the elastic stretch, so you would have enough for easing and all that. So I'm just gonna use this here, and I'm gonna just put the rest here. Now, with the elastic, I'm gonna prepare myself even before I sew. So I'm gonna put one of my pin in this end, because we're making a very easy skirt, like I mentioned, very basic skirt. Very, very easy, very basic skirt. If you are on very easy, very basic skirt. Okay, so once we finish, you let me know if this tutorial was helpful in general, if you like it. All right, so on another pin on another side of the elastic. So this is what we do here. Okay, so the pin is on the both side of the elastic itself. All right, so we prepare our elastic as well. So let's get started, because we don't have a lot of time and we want to make sure we get our skirt going. So we're gonna get our sewing machine here all threaded nicely. And then we're gonna put our skirt right size to right size. Now, on another live, I'll show you how to make your skirt very clean, very basic. Sorry, very clean in the sense of there's no raw edge. But today we're gonna have raw edge because again, we just want to make something very quick and very basic. So we're gonna take our skirt and we're gonna go right sides touching right side. So this is my side. This is the wrong size here because the color is a little bit different. If you have a fabric and you don't know which is right or wrong side, just turn it on one side and that's perfectly fine. So right side to right side, we're gonna base it down. We're gonna go down here just like this, right? And we're gonna sew it down. Remember, we just have one side piece, right? If we want, we could cut that side, but we don't have time for that, right? But now we just want to make something very basic, very easy. So you could go ahead and pin this down here, guys, and then you could sew it down. I'm just gonna sew it down itself. Okay. So I'm gonna sew it down. I'm gonna sew it down basically here. All right. So we sew everything down nicely. Remember, this is a very easy skirt, guys. We're making a very simple elastic waist skirt that you could just make in a snap, just like that, even with needle and thread. Okay, so in the meantime, I have just a little joke here. Say, what did the fabric say to the sewing machine needle? So what did the fabric say to the sewing machine needle? I like to laugh, so I like a little joke as I go along. All right, so we're almost there. Sewing away. Oh, I'm on a live. I'm on a live. I'm on a live. I'm on a live. So I am on a live, guys. So let me just go down. All right, good stuff. So we go down here. All right, so see, we have just this like that, right? Good. So what we're gonna do here now, we're gonna turn this just like this. Okay, that's like this. You turn this. I have on a light, please. Yeah. So I'm gonna turn this just like this. Right? So it's very basic, right? And what I'm gonna do now, I am going to fold the elastic here. Sorry, I'm gonna fold the part for my elastic, to loop my elastic, and I'm gonna fold it in. Okay. And then I'm gonna leave an opening. So I'm gonna move this down here so you could actually see what I'm doing here. So thank you so much for those who joining me on live. So everything is the raw edges there, guys. We're just making it very basic, like I mentioned earlier. Very basic, very, very, very basic. Okay. So I'm gonna take my elastic here. So you see my elastic here. If you look, this is how you just want to make sure we have like a quarter of an inch on both sides of the elastic for now. Okay. We're not gonna do major folding because I wanted to make it very basic for you guys if you want to follow along. So we are gonna fold the part for the elastic 2 inches down. All right. Now we could go ahead and sew this around. You know what? Let me just sew it around. Just because I want to make that edge clean. Right? So how many do you sew down if you want to say? You could just say quarter of an inch, okay? Just quarter of an inch. And we're going to go down. So I'm just folding the hem quarter of an inch, just making a small hem for the elastic area. Very small, very basic. I'm here, please. So we're just gonna fold. I'm just doing it like quarter of an inch down. Just to sort of clean the raw edge out, that's all. You don't have to. If you have a fabric that have like the selvage or the edges a little bit clean, you could do that. All right, so it says here, what did the fabric say to the sewing machine needle? It said, you got me in stitches. You got me in stitches. That's what's going on here. All right, so we almost there. Just to sew that part down. The skirt is almost done, guys. Trust me. Okay. All right, so that's what is fine. So next, now we're gonna just bring this is the elastic part we're doing here, right? So we're gonna just bring it down. So hi, thank you so much for joining me, for all who joining me on Instagram. I appreciate you joining me. Let's go 2 inches down. I have some pins here. I'm gonna pin here so you can see. So I'm just gonna pin 2 inches down, and then I'm gonna loop the elastic through. Okay, so 2 inches down. So we're gonna fold this like 2 inches down because we have a big elastic, right? I could actually go less than 2 inches. Let's go 1.5 inch down. So I'll fold it 1.5 inch down. You just want to make enough space for the elastic and the others. Yeah, so 1.5 inch down, I think it's fine. Yeah, 1.5 inch down is okay. All right, so you see what I'm doing here? I'm just measuring here to see, do I have space between the elastic? Yes, I do have a lot of space, right? So I'm just gonna leave it like that. All right, so 1.5 inch down. So I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna space it out. So 1.5 inch here. 1.5 inch here. One and a half inch over here. So I'll put maybe 3. So I put 3 pins. I'll put probably 2 more. So I just space it out. So I don't have to spend a long time doing 1.5 inch one. No, it's too much. 1.5 inch here and 1.5 inch here, and we're done. 1.5 inch here. Right. Okay. So 1.5 inch. So let me just actually turn this like that so you can see. So I just fold this, the hemming down. That's the hemming part that I want. 1.5 inch down. Right? So I'm going to sew it, but I'm going to also leave an opening. Okay? I'll leave a very basic opening. So I'll leave an opening around by the seam here. Okay? So I'll leave an opening of maybe 2 inches opening. So I'm just going to put a pin here, a double pin, so I could remind you that, you know what, don't go beyond that double pin. Yeah, good. Yeah, so I leave the opening just around here, right? So I'm going to sew all the way from here to here and leave that opening itself. So our skirt is almost to the finish line, to be honest with you. So I'll take this off, put this inside here so I could just do a nice little sewing all the way around. All the way around. All right, so I'm just going right to the very edge itself here, okay? So right basically to the very edge here. All right, let's turn around with this. This got a little bit small in my eyes. Yeah, just a little bit down. Okay, so 1.5 inch down. So for those who are watching live or replay, we do offer sewing classes in Brampton. We are Infinite Modesty Design. You can check us out on Google. You could also check us out on YouTube as well. All right, so we almost there. Always remember to look at your pins as you sew. All right, so we come to the closed part here. And I'll do a little opening, a little double stitch here, okay? So what I'm going to do immediately, guys, I'm going to do a hemming as well before we go and dive into the elastic. Because once you put the elastic in, the skirt is done. So for the bottom here now, I'm just going to hem it. You could double it, double hem, but I'm just going to do a bottom, just a bottom closer. So I'll just do one itself. That's perfectly fine. So hi, thank you so much for all those who are joining me on Instagram. So I'm just folding it. Maybe you could fold it maybe 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch and just sew it down just to clean the bottom edge, right? That's all I'm doing here. So nothing fancy. Remember, no one would even see the inside of the skirt, right? You're just doing it for yourself or for your daughter, if you're, you know. So I'm just folding it down. You could measure 1/2 inch just to kind of give it a little seam allowance. It's out there. Or make it easier, guys, you could do 1 inch. Because remember, say it was 37 we did, and we put 3 inches, 37, 38, 39, 40. So 3 inches. We already took away 1.5 inches. And then you could also take away another full 1 inch as well for the hemming part. So I'm taking away just 1/2 inch. You could take away more than 1/2 inch. You could take away 1 inch for the hem allowance. Or again, you could always go higher when you put on the skirt if it's too long. It's if you have more fabric, it's better than less, because if it's too long, that's fine. You could always bring it up. But if it's too short, then you have to add fabric, right? So that's what I'm trying to say here. So in this case, 1/2 inch or so is just fine for me. Guys, the skirt is almost done. All right. Okay, so what do we have here now? So we have our elastic here. And guys, like I said, we're gonna make something very basic today, very simple to show you how easy it is to make a little skirt, and you put it on and you're done. So remember, so we have our opening here, right? Remember our elastic here. So we are gonna push it in. That's it. Another time I'll show you how to make it a little bit more professional. But today's is just as professional as you can make it, but it's just very simple. And again, no one won't even actually know question, especially if you have a beautiful fabric. Who would even know that you put elastic with needle with a safety pin? Nobody won't even know that. Especially, that's the thing. You could have a very simple fabric, so you could have a very fabric that it looks very beautiful, and people would compliment you on the skirt. Don't realize now how simple it is. You made it, as well as you could use that same fabric and make an uppity of course style. But again, it's all about the fabric. If you have a gorgeous fabric, you would get compliment on that skirt. And it was like, if you want to know how simple that skirt was, they would even, you know what I mean? So now what we're doing here, we're just pushing this in. So I think everyone can see, right? So I'm just pushing it down. So I think I have a pin here. So I'm just pushing this all the way down, down. And I think everyone is seeing what I'm doing. So I wish I had a smaller elastic, but it's okay. It is what it is. I have, yeah, but maybe it's in the actually where we teach the classes. That's where it is right now, because I have lots of elastic. I just can't find a thin one. All right, so we're gonna push it down like this, So we're gonna be doing here. All right, so basically the question was, why did the fabric say to the sewing machine needle, you got me into stitches? There you go. So last one we're gonna have here, why did the sewing machine break up with the calculator? Now that's very interesting. So why did the sewing machine break up with the calculator? So if you get any resistance, guys, just take your time and pull it down. We're almost there to the finish line here, almost there. So you're pushing the pin down. That's why I keep on pushing here. It's the pin you're pushing down until you reach to the finish line. So we're almost there. So there you go, to the finish line here. We're gonna take the pin out, make sure it's safe. So if we take out the pin, it would not bust. All right. Pull this out nicely. All right, good. So I have this here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull out the skirt a little. Just tailor it out a little. Then I'm gonna loose out some elastic, but be careful when you're losing the elastic that you don't lose out too much that it go back in. All right. So I'm gonna hold it both ends here, and I'm just gonna loosen it out. Push some in here, right? So just for safety, I'm gonna actually put a pin here, and then I'll try to loosen out some more elastic, right? Okay. So now what I'm gonna do here, I would say you could always try this on first before you seal the elastic. All right. So because I had cut it exact, I think I cut it exact 37, right? Because that was the size I wanted. All right. That was the size I wanted. So if the elastic is big, you just have to fix it. So once you measure the skirt on and you see it's fine for you. All right. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to just put a big pin here. I'll put back the big pin here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay. Right. So I'm going to take my mannequin here, bring it a little bit closer. Okay, and I'm going to put my thingy down, my skirt down. Right, I'll put it back to the back. So that's pretty much how it's going to look. So you could always try that on you, see if it's too tight, or sorry, if it's too loose. And then what you could do here, if it's too loose, then you just adjust the elastic. That's all, right? So maybe instead of doing a 1/2 inch seam allowance, you do a 1 inch seam allowance. Okay. So I am going to just do a seam allowance. Let me make sure that this. Whoa, see, I near lose it on the line. I near lose it on the line. So you got to be very careful. So I'm just going to go ahead and sew it down this way, right? Put a pin right here and just sew it down this way. You could do zigzag. Again, if you're doing this with needle and thread, just do a couple of, you gotta do that, just do a lot. It will take you more time, of course, but just do a lot. So I'm gonna just do a zigzag here. So you will just zigzag that part itself. Okay, that's what I'm going to do here. I'll do a couple of times so you can secure. There you go. That's it. So once you do that, now you're free now to just let go, right? Because you already have it to the basic how you want it. And now we're just going to seal the opening here. We're done. So now I'm going to remove it back from the straight. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put a stitch right here and we're done. That's all. Okay. So just sealing that opening up, that's all. Done. All done. So my skirt is done. 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 I'm ready to wear my skirt to go to wherever. Just get a beautiful, right? Okay. So I'm going to put it back on my mannequin here, and then we're just going to wrap with the call today. So because the mannequin is very skinny, right? So this is it here. What I'm going to do. Okay, so also fix the elastic. Make sure the elastic, because this elastic is very big. Just fix it so you can turn on one side, okay? If it's looking kind of thing. So for mine, I just want to make sure it's turned nicely on one side. Okay, so this is pretty much what it is. So I'm going to put a pin here to show you how the skirt look. Right? That's pretty much how it is. So you make your skirt. Pull the mannequin out here so you can see very well for those who. Right, we're done. So this is a very simple, very basic skirt. You could make, you have fabric, you have needle and thread, or you have a sewing machine, you have safety pin, you measure, like just follow the video and you'll be able to make a very basic, very simple skirt, and you got it just like that. So this was so very easy to make. There's more challenging skirt, of course, but I want to make something very simple that you itself could try, and there you go. Awesome. So if you like this live, especially if you're on YouTube, kindly leave a comment, kindly leave there's a thumbs up. Yes. 1 for yes, I like it. 2 for no, I don't like it. And of course. All right. So again, who we are, the Sewing Nurse. My name is Gellis. I teach you how to sew. We do have sewing classes in Brampton where we teach you how to sew from zero to hero. We do have a 5-month sewing academy where we teach you how to make dresses from having no clue what to do, even how to touch a sewing machine. So by the end of 5 months, and if there's a need to give 6 months, I will give it to you. You'll be able to make dresses yourself from scratch. We also offer foot care nursing service as well. If you have your loved ones that have a diabetic feet, just the elderly person can take care of their feet. I am a nurse as well, so we do offer food care service, of course. The number is the same for 167429931 if you want to book appointment in and around itself. And there we go. So I just have this here to kind of show you with the feet. That's your actual feet itself. We're not manicure, not pedicure. We teach you how to take care of your feet. And of course, we take care of your loved one feet. All right. Again, lastly, to say that Jesus Christ is real. He loves you very much. I am a Christian. Once I do live, by the grace of God, I would always share the love of Jesus Christ because I get to know him in a so profound way. I didn't know him at all. I didn't grow up in a Christian home. Actually, I was just anyone. And then I seek his face and ask, if you are real, I want to know you. And he revealed himself to me in a powerful way. And in that way, the Lord is giving me grace to serve him and grace, of course, to share about him to the world. So again, my name is Gellis. This is Infinite Modesty Design. I pray by the grace of God we will see next Friday with another sewing tutorial. Take care, guys.